Hello everyone and welcome back.
Oh, hello back, my only friend.
I fucking hate you, Cav.
I couldn't resist. I had to do it. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it earlier.
So,
I can't believe.
you guys descend into a dark... Well, there's still a ray of sunlight descending from above you, but a relatively dark and, from the sounds of dripping water around you, fairly damp cave. I'd like everyone to give me perception checks as you take a look around this cavern. Okay.
Why?
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
V and Kelariis, the first thing that catches your eye is the north and easternmost walls of this cave are coated in giant fungus. Like this entire cave is from looking around it, it seems to be an environmental hazard that things fall into a lot, because as you sort of walk around underneath you, you notice that there are several sort of like decayed skeletons lying around of like wild animals and other creatures that have quite clearly fallen down this hole and died, and it has very quickly become a breeding ground for fungus and moss. And it leaves...
Oh, it's nice to see that nature finds a way around here.
It leaves a very sort of musty smell in the air.
Nature always finds a way.
The other thing that you notice is V, as you look around, with your knowledge of animals, you notice that some of the walls seem to basically have traces of bat droppings.
Okay.
So this is clearly an inhabited cave. And basically, just ahead of you, you can all see basically a tunnel that seems to lead out of this natural cave formation and go somewhere else. You presume into the rest of the mine, because the tunnel seems to be hewn rather than naturally occurring.
I have to get used to the fact that the light source doesn't move with me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the club. Where I was always like, stay in the light.
Okay.
Let's have a look around, I guess.
Okay. As you begin to take a look around, everybody stop for a second.
Well,
Oh wow, bit of lag. Yeah, everybody hold up for a second as some things happen. Kelariis, no sooner does the basically the light from your torch fall upon...
Torch.
Well, light from your sword, sorry. No sooner does the light from your sword fall upon the fungus that is growing on the floor and walls just ahead of you, one of the mushrooms does something peculiar. And that is, it begins to emit a very loud, a very high-pitched whistling sound that very quickly ramps up into a noise that could be almost comparable to a very loud shriek. And like this is deafeningly loud.
Ow.
I would like all of you to roll me nature checks. Okay.
It's a strange mushroom.
Yes. Arya and V, you recognize, sort of, as this reaction begins to take place, you recognize that this is a very particular breed of fungus. One that basically it grows in dark and abandoned places, and it basically has a what is I can't remember the term, but something that releases spores by like expulsion of gases. This is a particular type of mushroom that does exactly that when exposed to light or is disturbed by creatures. And basically the dispersal of spores that it creates results in this high-pitched shrieking sound, and it is thusly named a shrieker. And basically, you know that whilst these are naturally occurring mushrooms, they are often grown by smart underground dwelling creatures as an early warning system.
Oh.
Hooray!
And yes, basically it is emitting a loud sound that will not stop until either all of the spores have been expelled, which is a long time, or you destroy it. The second thing that you are made aware of, thanks to your acute natural sense, is another shrieking sound that you can hear underneath the sounds of the shrieker. And that is the cries of a large number of bats that seem to be progressively getting closer. I'd like all of you to roll initiative for me.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Christ. That's quick.
Good start,
It's-
guys. Good start.
Oh, I'm already on the... I need to be on the GM layer for a second.
Oh my god.
Oh hell yeah.
Jesus, Kelariis.
Still lower. Still worse than I am.
By 1
know.
point.
Elia gets a
Wait.
reroll, so it's not really fair.
I already. No. Yeah. What the fuck is. Oh, is that the mushroom?
The
That is the
mushroom.
mushroom.
What the fuck? It has a
mushroom.
face.
You've
Oh,
got
no,
a
it doesn't.
face.
No, it doesn't.
No, it just looks.
Yeah.
It just
Strange.
looks
Like
like
a
a
face.
face.
It's just spotty.
Oh,
Well, those
It- for a second-
spots are little holes that it is currently expelling spores out of.
Yeah.
For a second,
It's
it
gonna-
looked like. And I was very afraid.
Cool. I should probably roll it into the initiative order, along with the large swarm of several swarm of bats that appear down the corridor.
Hooray!
boy.
Swarms of bats.
But are they regular bats or evil bats?
That depends what you define by regular or evil.
I mean, regular bats don't attack people. So.
Yeah, are these bats just gonna fly past us, or are they gonna try and kill us?
Actually, give me. Actually, no. With your nature checks, you guys are aware that these are carnivorous bats.
Oh, okay.
There is a good
Right.
chance that whilst they may not, they might not be a massive danger to you, in a swarm they might cause you some serious injury defending their territory.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, so with that we will stop that music. Oh, wait, that was the water I stopped. Whoops. And we will play some battle music.
Good old battle music.
As I roll the bats and the shrieker into the initiative order. If that even works. Okay. I clicked on the token. Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong layer. Whoops. Wow. Roll20 is having a small moment again. I think it might be my network connection, but it's fine. No, I want to right-click it. Add it to the initiative order. Oh. It goes slightly before V. As V has a small panic as these bats start flying towards her, and there's a loud sound, and what the hell is going on? Just generally. Cool. Shrika goes at initiative stage 3. Okay, you may act.
Alright. I'm gonna shoot the mushroom.
You're going to shoot the mushroom. Okay, cool. You draw an arrow.
Bam.
Cool. Yeah, surprisingly, it's really not hard to hit. Yeah, and your arrow pierces into the mushroom and causes it to basically it damages obviously the surface tension of the mushroom and causes it to expel a large number of spores, and the shriek sort of stops. Well, it doesn't stop. It loses pitch for a few moments, and then it's carrying on, but it's a lot weaker. Kelariis.
I have a bad feeling about going to hit a mushroom that also expels spores, but don't really want it to keep shrieking, so I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
Oh, geez, that's more bats than I thought they were.
dark!
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're on the edge of the light, it's fine.
Okay, as you move forward, you find that you can't actually move that far.
Oh, that's
because
Just a little bit.
you can only move to there due to the mushrooms that are surrounding you. And as you move closer, you are surprised as from two of the mushrooms emerge some long purple tendrils and attempt to lash at you.
Oh, lovely.
Those things are gross looking.
Yes. Roll me nature checks. I need to roll a 2-1d4. Okay.
I have no idea what's happening.
None of you have any idea what the fuck this thing is, other than V, who recognizes these as violet fungus. And yeah, these are really quite nasty things that live in caves and basically prey on anything that is unfortunate enough to stray close enough to them. Yeah, and basically they attack with their tendrils, which lash out with basically a highly toxic coating that causes your flesh to decay. And yeah, basically if this thing kills its prey, it basically decays and becomes host to more spores to spawn another violet fungus. So try not to die.
Wow. I don't plan on it.
Yeah, 3 of these tendrils spring towards you, Kelariis. Does a 21 hit you?
Yeah.
Does an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My armor class is 18, so...
You take 7 necrotic damage as this thing hits you.
Total.
7 total, yes.
Okay.
And I can roll them into the initiative order because they are no longer, well, lying in ambush. Actually, V, give me another perception check.
Okay. Nope.
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay. Never mind. Cool.
Joy.
-2.
Yes.
Do I not get to take any attacks at all then?
Oh no, sorry. Yes, you do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot it was.
Okay.
I clicked to refresh the turn order and then it didn't actually do what I
No,
wanted it
it's
to do. I meant to do it the other way. So there. Yes, you can now make any attacks you want.
Well, I guess I'm.
Well, at least it has an initiative of -2.
Yes.
-2.
Well,
Holy crap.
technically it has an initiative of 0 because it can't actually have an initiative of -2, but
Close
well,
enough.
technically it has an initiative of 1, but it will go after anything else that rolls a 1.
Amazing. Well, I guess I'll attack the screaming mushroom first.
Okay.
Because I can still reach that from. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, let's try to attack the screaming mushroom. With freedom.
Yes.
Wow, that was a really shit roll.
That is a hit because surprisingly it is a mushroom and has no way of defending itself.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, you.
Also, I'm sorry, that was a +9 to that attack.
Yeah.
She's always had a +9.
I know, but
You cleave down into the body of this mushroom and actually like take a fair chunk of the mushroom away from it, and it like you like the arrow destroyed the surface tension initially. This just like takes it away entirely, and the sound ceases.
Okay. Oh.
So that was 1 round of shrieking. So I need to roll a dice. Okay, cool.
Fun. I guess they'll take a swing at the one here?
Yeah, you're gonna attack the one next to you.
Yes,
Sure.
hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, that's again. It's a mushroom. It can't really defend itself.
Well, I mean, it did hit me, to
Yeah.
be fair. Well, that was sad damage.
Yeah, you chop into the thick flesh of this mushroom and you deal some damage to it, but it's quite built up on obviously has been here for a long time. So.
Angry.
Can you accept my inputs, please?
Sad face on that 1 on the damage dice.
I know. Still annoying,
Vondal,
I can't
it is
get
your
to
turn.
I'd love to roll a 9 consistently. I'm gonna move back a bit. And we'll plop. You know what? Let's plop a Sacred Flame on Mr. On the same one that Kelariis just hit.
Okay, you're gonna Sacred Flame it.
Sacred Fire.
It has to make a dexterity saving throw, so this is going to go phenomenally well because it's rooted in the ground.
That's why I targeted them and not the bats.
Cool. Yeah,
Two
you
max
deal 14 radiant damage. That is a lot of radiant damage. Yeah, okay. You bring down the radiant light, and the mushroom exposed to this bright light sort of shivers and shrivels and sort of retracts in on itself. And you suspect that it is no longer a threat. The bats. Arya and actually no, just V. Give me a nature check
So many.
as
nature.
something happens.
So much nature.
Okay. You notice that the bats, as they fly towards you, make sure to stick to the top of the cave away from the mushroom formations.
Makes sense.
They fly in. No, that's the wrong layer. Damn it. Okay. One of them flies towards you.
Yep.
One of them flies towards Arya.
Hmm.
And one of them flies to... Oh, can you drag to where I told you to drag to, please?
Excuse me.
Nope.
Excuse me?
And one is going to swoop down on Vondal.
No.
I think they are flying high enough that you don't get an attack opportunity against them. But they are going to fly in and attack you guys. One, 3. Yeah, does a 11 hit you? I don't think it does.
Nope.
The other two definitely
Yes.
hit. Oh, okay, I see why that is. V, you take 5 piercing damage. Vondal, you take 8 piercing damage as these bats sort of descend on you and start like biting and clawing at you.
Ow.
And you hear from the tunnel up ahead several more bat swarms
Oh,
begin to come towards you. V, it is your turn.
Cool. Well, since these guys are in my face anyway, I'm gonna do something that I haven't done in a very long time. And cast poison spray.
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
I
They have to,
like the sound effects. that
they have to make a
follow that
strength
cast.
save against that. Is that right?
What? No?
What?
Isn't it a con save?
I'm pretty sure it's a con save. I think that might be wrong in your spell description. You might want to fix that.
Okay.
Well then.
Save with strength.
As I say,
I will
when did
physically
V
fight
become
the
a raw
poison.
master wizard?
They
Also, I get my extra stuff from that because I'm a poison sorceress.
yes. What does that give you? Con mod to damage, isn't it? Or not con mod.
Charisma mod.
Charisma mod to damage. What is your
Yeah.
charisma mod?
It's 2.
2. Okay. Yeah, you spray these bats with poison, and more than a few of them drop out of the air. And I can you notice that the swarm it begins to disperse because of the number of bats that you sort of bug sprayed out of the air. And you expect that they will be weaker. In game terms, I can tell you that because they are a swarm, because you have reduced them to below half their hit points, they now deal half damage.
Okay.
So
That's kind of my turn.
yeah, that is very much your turn. The violet fungus is going to lash out at Kelariis because it can, and it's a stupid creature, and that's just what it does. Oh wait, hold on, I actually forgot to roll a 1d4 for it, because I need to find out how many attacks it has. Okay, so it gets that many this turn. Yeah, this monster has random multi-attack.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Does a 16 hit you? No.
Nope.
Okay. In that case, you take 9 necrotic damage as 2 more tendrils slap out and manage to touch your skin.
Ew.
Oh my god, is that more bats?
Yeah, that's more bats.
That's more
Fuck.
bats, yes. Arya, there are bats.
Oh yeah, there are bats.
There are bats.
They're fucking bats.
They're gonna hit all the home runs.
Goddamn bats. Right. I guess I'd have to drop my bow to draw.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm doing that. Can't really do a lot with bow against bats.
Yeah, just like shoot one arrow.
Boom. Oh, I
Yeah,
did so
take
much
that singular bat.
You fuck you. You bat in particular. Alright. Anyway. And I guess I'll swing at them with my...
I mean, they are so
scimitar.
densely packed that you could hit multiple bats with a single arrow.
Eh,
It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
no.
Become Arya the Impaler of bats.
I impale it
Cool.
with bats. I hit 3 bats in a row. 1 arrow.
Cool. Yeah, you flail around with your scimitar, hitting multiple bats that are trying to sort of like swarm over you. And yeah, again, you seem to like you kill a lot more bats than seem to be remaining. Once again, you've reduced it to below half hit points, so it now deals half damage. Kelariis.
Alrighty. Attack the bad fungus in front of me.
Okay,
Swing.
that's a hit.
Sweet. I'm assuming it's still. Oh.
Yeah, it is. It's still intact with the first swing. You bring it down and carve into its flesh, and then with the second swing, you also hit because again, it's a mushroom. It's not hard to hit.
It's a mushroom.
Yeah. Again, you sort of like you go with the 1-2 sort of hack through this thing and leave it in tatters.
That is mushroomist.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Here.
Congratulations,
Bit
you
of
killed a
action.
mushroom.
Hooray!
Hooray,
Actually, 3
mushroom.
mushrooms.
Yes.
With help.
With help. Vondal.
I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Yes. Very
Get some
clever.
AoE in this motherfucker.
AoE against swarms is always effective, yes.
I don't have any AoE attacks. Christ.
Hail of Thorns.
Oh, I
But
guess
I
Hail
don't
of
want
Thorns.
to. I don't want to cast Shatter in a cave.
Oh, that's us.
Ooh.
Really bad.
But Spirit Guardians is just per turn anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. So that much damage in a 15-foot radius.
Well, the bats need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they're actually
Yeah.
quite good at.
Oh.
No.
They
That's
do
a very
all
wise
fail.
choice. Ha
Uh-huh.
Okay.
ha! 6 radiant damage.
Vondal summons his swarm of tiny cherubs to counter the swarm of tiny bats.
Look, we need to save insects now.
Beautiful.
And the
You want me to summon my bees?
the remaining bats
come
next
on.
to V sort of are torn to shreds by these tiny cherubim.
Shred you say.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh,
Little wings all over.
there's not many bats left fighting Arya, but there are still a number of bats on top of Vondal.
Cool. I think that's all I can do.
Is that your turn, is it?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. The bat swarms. The bat swarm attacking Arya, I would like you to make me an attack of opportunity as it attempts to fly away from you up the
Fuck you.
up through the hole.
Fuck you, bats.
Cool. Yeah, you slash away the remaining bats.
Swing, swing, swing. That's what a scimitar sounds like now, I guess.
Yep.
Swing, swing.
Some more bats swoop down, seeing that the fungus is no longer there.
Hmm.
And actually, I'm not even sure if these guys can reach any of the back of the tunnel. Oh, they can just about reach Arya.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
crap.
many
Babies.
bats.
A lot of
fuck
that.
bats.
There's so many bats, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when?
23 hits you, Kelariis, yes.
Yep.
Take 2 piercing damage.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah,
What?
surprisingly enough, the bats aren't actually that effective at trying to kill you guys. They're not very dangerous. Arya, you take 4 piercing. Vondal, you take 7. Wow, you are quite unlucky. There's like a bat in your beard. It's
Ah,
literally Satan.
fucking hell. I only groomed that a couple of days ago, you fucker.
Fucking bats.
The
My fucking beard.
More poison!
Takes work for that beard.
Yes.
I've added the charisma mod. so
okay, cool. Oh yeah, because you can just do that, can't you?
wing.
Just change your spot. Wow, that is. If this bat fails its Constitution saving throw, which I have no doubt it will, that's a nat 1. Yeah,
Oh,
You-
Fuck you, rat.
you bug spray the swarm of bats next to Vondal.
I can't believe.
Thank you.
Uh,
Did it, that's now just bug spray.
oh yeah.
I'm gonna swing at this cluster of bats on my right.
Okay,
Ah, bats.
that's a hit. Cool. Yeah, you
Serving so many spell slots right now.
you cut through a number of bats. Yeah, you finally found a use for poison spray.
I know, right?
Just fucking bats up.
Woohoo!
Actually, it does a
Kelariis.
surprising amount of damage for a cantrip.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's just go for the one right next to me.
Well, I was gonna say,
Lovely
didn't you
form.
tell me that you always forget something that might be really useful here?
What?
You were telling me at the start of the session that you always forget about something.
I don't
Did
remember
Hunter's
saying
Mark.
this.
No, not Hunter's Mark. You accidentally rolled the dice for it.
Oh yeah, actually, I can roll an extra dice because I'm level 6 now, I found out.
Oh yes, it was this. Yeah, so
Yeah, so
I can actually edit that macro for you, I think.
does that actually hit all of them? If I...
It would do, yes, because you would
Oh,
fire it
God,
straight
yeah,
to the
okay,
wall.
yeah,
that
let's do
thing.
that.
Ah, the thing.
The thing.
The thing that
I
never
don't-
gets used.
I have just updated the macro to include your extra dice.
Oh, I thank you. I will do that then.
Cool.
I'll use the macro this time.
Nice.
Oh, kind of shit.
Boom. Kelariis lets out a thunderbolt.
Crack a boom.
The bats are quite dexterous.
That is unfortunate.
What is the challenge save against it?
It is a 12. It's not fantastic.
Okay. You managed to strike a significant number of bats with a thunderbolt.
Sweet. That probably made a loud noise. Oh well. Oh, that's okay. We had the shrieking mushroom anyway.
I mean, yeah, there was a shrieking mushroom which probably gave you away.
Yeah, I think this thing give us away.
Hmm. If anything, that's going to add intimidation factor, because they heard a screaming and then they heard a fucking lightning bolt go off. Gonna be fucking terrified of whatever's just stumbled into their cave.
Good.
Okay. Vondal, I'd like you to roll me Spirit Guardians.
Yep, I'm rolling in to hit hard.
Nice.
Cool. Wisdom save for the bats. Only 2 of them need to save because one of them is already destroyed regardless of saves. Wow, that's a 19.
Jeez.
Fuck off, bat.
One set of bats is completely obliterated. Another set of bats is depleted down to merely a few men. Or bats.
Bat. Yeah, you men. What?
Good man.
Your spirit guardians turn the bats into men.
What? They're
Terrifying.
like fairies with
worrying.
bat wings now.
Is this the part where they go through the Mulan training sequence?
Yeah. Mr.
Right.
Isle,
Make
Oh.
it
Man.
out of you.
good.
Oh.
Kelariis, does a 16 hit you? No. Vondal, does a 13 hit you? I believe it does.
No.
Take 1 piercing damage.
Hey!
As a bad
Hey guys,
person
I've taken
knows.
16 damage so far.
Cool.
Oh jeez.
The bats are then going to again attempt to fly away up the thing. So attacks of opportunity from the 3 of you who are in base contact.
Freedom.
Oh my god. This is what you get.
Okay.
Oh, that's not actually that impressive.
Okay.
No, it wasn't, but
I still believe in
fine.
A
Freedom.
That's that dings on Kelariis execute something with a crit.
a
Oh,
Technically.
a handful of bats escape the bat massacre that occurs.
Look, they brought it upon themselves.
Yeah.
17. The Batica.
Yeah. Cool.
I guess we battered them there.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
The
I mean, if a
bats-
caped vigilante comes after you, you know what to blame it on now.
Someone's fucking bats.
My bad puns.
True.
Well-
Also that.
I was thinking it was more Batman, but never mind. Cool. With that, you basically sort of dust yourselves down, and yeah, okay, that was not what you were expecting.
You want to know how I lost 16 health?
Bats.
Yeah, Vondal's face is covered in like tiny scratches, and like he's only wearing like a short-sleeved jacket, so his arms are just like covered in like bat bites. There's a little bit of poo on his shirt.
Oh.
Ew.
I guess that's pretty shitty. I'll stop with the jokes. Shall we carry on?
Okay. As you begin to move into the corridor, Kelariis, I'd like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
Alright.
Okay.
Hey, dexterity saves.
That's a pretty shitty dexterity save.
Please don't tell me I kick more mushrooms. I don't kick
Okay.
more mushrooms.
Unfortunately, as you begin to walk into the corridor, two more mushrooms lash out
Why?
at you with tendrils.
Yay.
Fucking mushrooms.
Of course they do.
So yeah, you were probably just a couple of steps forward about there, and you are basically grabbed at by another set of tendrils.
God damn it.
This is a good start, guys.
Literally only one of them hits you, and you take 8 necrotic damage. That's max damage, I think. Yeah, that's max damage.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just heal myself after this.
I won't make you guys roll because you guys can just like batter these things to death in a single round. But yes, you batter the remaining mushrooms down, and then you double check to make sure there are no more mushrooms. There are no more mushrooms.
Hooray.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Do you want some healing, Kelariis?
I can heal a bit. Save your spell slots for the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna do math. Yeah, I'll just use 20 for now. I can math, don't worry, guys. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you then continue onwards.
The awkward, like, shuffle down the
I know.
The
corridor.
inevitable two people end up on top of each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
As you end up around the corner, you enter into an area that is clearly a very, very old series of mine shafts. And clearly at some point, these tunnels had like some sort of rail system set up to bring carts up and down from this mine shaft, but they've clearly been long removed, although the grooves in the floor still exist for where they would have been. What is everyone's passive perception?
19, my dudes.
19.
Jeez.
Dang. I think it's like an 11 for
Watch
me.
us fucking spiders kill us again.
No.
Minus 14.
Okay.
No,
13.
spiders.
Waiters.
Okay.
Spiders.
V, you are the only person to notice this. But as sort of the light from freedom is cast on the walls, you notice that somebody has drawn something on the wall with obviously just like the edge of a sharp stone. They've scratched something into the wall that seems fairly fresh, and hasn't yet been eroded by the water. It is a series of symbols and then what looks like an arrow. What languages does everyone in the party speak?
Common and
Elvish.
Sylvan.
Sylvan and Abyssal.
Dwarvish, Elvish, and Orcish.
Draconic and Celestial.
Okay.
You speak Celestial?
Paladin!
So extra.
Speak to the gods!
I don't actually remember writing that in there, but apparently that was a thing I chose at some point, so.
Yeah, I think it was just one of the languages you gained at the start, and I think we just fluffed it as it's your ability, one of your divine abilities as a paladin.
Daddy Tharian taught you.
Well, it's less taught, more just innately understands. It's like V doesn't really speak to animals; she can just innately communicate with them because of her nature.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, none of you know what this means. If another member of your party would have been here, you would understand it, but
Ow.
Alas.
It's Nomish, boys.
it's not Gnomish.
Yeah. Something else that Grim knew.
He knew quite a lot of things.
Okay.
Grim.
But yes, the arrow seems to be pointing to your right, further up the corridor.
Does anyone find it funny that he's literally the most intelligent person in the party now?
Yep.
I didn't think about that.
That's troubling.
But we have.
Very troubling.
Yes, but the rest of us have wisdom, so it's fine. We don't need to be
Yeah.
intelligent because
No,
we're
I don't.
minds.
I don't have wisdom.
Yeah, but that's because you're just an idiot.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe if you had more wisdom, you would have walked into that fucking hole.
You know what? One day I will meet you in real life, Cat. And that day
I
will
will
be the
get
day.
punched.
As
Go
you
on.
bicker walking down the corridor, roll me perception.
Oh, which way are we going?
Yeah, which way are we going? To the right, you said, right?
The arrow is pointing to your right.
I'm too
Okay.
busy hearing two people bicker.
Okay.
Look, maybe if. Oh, yeah. It's your shitty ass perception.
Yes. As you walk down the corridor, Kelariis and Arya, you spot this roughly at the same time.
Why is everyone
And
else moving?
that is basically that to the right ahead of you, somebody has basically like erected like a makeshift door covering, with basically a manky looking red cloth sort of hanging down in front of it, that clearly works as sort of like a it's enough to sort of keep like a it's probably there to sort of like keep maybe the bats out, but other than that you don't think it would keep an awful lot out. It doesn't even keep the draft out because it's sort of like wafting in the breeze. And as you take a closer look at it, you can hear like a chattering from the other side, again in a language that none of you can understand.
Hmm. Should we go this way?
It's blocked off, so I imagine there'll be another way still. I suppose.
Well, it isn't really blocked off. It's just covered with a cloth, and there is clearly a room on the other side.
I suppose, yeah, we go in then. Yeah, that way.
Let's go for it then.
So you're pushing this cloth aside.
Yes.
Okay. Who is
Oh, great.
going to like sort of step inside first?
I guess I will.
Okay.
I'll hold it open for Arya.
Okay.
Thanks.
You hold it open as Arya steps inside. Arya, give me a you have dark vision, yes?
Yes.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Don't even need it.
Don't even need
Don't
it.
even need it.
Cool.
Don't even need it.
Need.
Basically, what you see in front of you, I need to grab something from the DM toolkit.
Is one of our bingo cards a nat 20 on perception?
No, it has to be double
Two
nat
nat
20.
It has to be double nat
Yeah,
20.
double, yeah.
We're halfway there.
Whoa.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Only need to sell it when you put an RPG chat.
Moving on a
Okay. In the center of the room here is basically a small fire that is glowing. It's being kept at a little bit more than sort of low flames, basically embers. But from what you can tell, it has at least fairly recently been used for cooking. And as you look into the room, you spot a number of goblinoid figures. That's not the right tool. Okay, this drawing tool is just not responding to what I want it to do, but here we go. That'll have to do.
A small red circle.
Yes.
A fire.
It was supposed to be slightly smaller than that, but it didn't really work. But yes, as you look inside, you see a number of figures clustered around this bonfire, which includes two fairly armored-looking hobgoblins, as well as a slightly burlier-looking hobgoblin who appears to have much shinier armor than everybody else, and also basically seems to be carrying what seems to be, I think it's a greatsword. Let me just double-check. Yes, he is. He has basically a large greatsword that is like resting to one side of him. I will reveal them to you. The other figures that are sat by the bonfire are two goblins, and you spot basically leaning by the doorway, effectively with your back to you, and you probably would have missed him if you didn't see an incredibly hairy elbow poking around the corner, is the figure of a bugbear.
Oh,
And I will reveal them all to you now.
Holy shit, that's a lot of them.
that's a lot of monsters!
I'll be fine.
People.
But yes, I need to roll some checks very quickly.
This is the guys this is
Okay.
the guys from the asylum.
They found them and now we have to kill them.
Yep.
No.
You don't. The guys you met previously were all bugbears. There's only one bugbear in this group, and the rest are like goblins, hobgoblins, and a large hairy hobgoblin with a large greatsword.
Soon, and they're all gonna be dead soon.
But yeah, basically nobody notices you except for the large hairy hobgoblin with the greatsword, who sort of he looks up. His hand immediately sort of goes to his greatsword. He stands up and he seems to bark orders to the rest of them, who hurriedly fumble for weapons. And I would like you to all roll me initiative.
Okay, we're in the worst position for this.
Okay. V, please roll high on this. Please.
Yes, they are all grouped up in the center.
Classic
They are all
Vondal.
grouped up. I want this to go well so badly.
20!
Nice.
I want to summon my locusts.
Oh, that wasn't even what I thought you were doing.
Summon the hell out of those locusts.
That's fine.
No, man, this is
Oh,
prime
no.
focus territory.
Oh
No,
my god,
fuck
Arya, 810!
Holy shit!
That's an impressive initiative! Oh.
For some reason, it didn't delete the 8, and it just left it there. And guys, we rolled shit on initiative. Like, I know Vondal always does, but
Yeah, I was going to say, yesterday was a rare exception.
Yeah, Vondal's initiative is a function of his absolutely awful dexterity.
yeah.
But hey, he's got short legs and stubby fingers.
Look, I'm stocky, okay? I'm very large for a 4'4" person.
Wow, the bugbear is totally not prepared.
You are not prepared.
Oh,
As
this is
for
looking so good,
the other guy?
guys. This is looking so good.
You're gonna jinx it. You're gonna jinx it. Touch wood.
No, I believe.
My disc is made of wood. I'm touching wood as we speak.
Good.
Add turn. Scroll, you bastard.
Scroll, you bastard.
I think my internet connection is being kind of awful, so it's like ever so slightly lagging, which is kind of a nuisance.
Hey!
Okay,
Hey, boy.
so V gets to act first.
Yes.
Yes, go V.
Time for insect plague. Let's go.
Okay, give me an insect plague.
How do I actually roll that?
I don't think you can, because I don't think you actually have access to the spell. But if you click it in your list, in the list of things, it should tell you how to roll it.
What do you mean in my list thing?
You know your thing for the artifact entry for your staff.
Yes,
It has links to all of your spells.
I know that.
But if you
So I just
if you click on that, it should come up with a thing and tell me what it is, like radius,
Oh.
etc.
well the range. Oh. The radius is 20
Right.
feet.
Okay,
Um.
so that's
and
pretty much everything.
pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much
it's
everything in the
40
room.
40-10, and it's a Constitution save or take half damage.
Okay, yeah. That hits everything in the room, not including friendlies.
There! Holy fuck, that's a roll and a half!
Oh my god.
And they need to make a what save against it?
It's a con save.
Okay. The insects burst forth from your staff, fly over Arya's shoulder, and begin to fill the room.
God, I feel
Uh,
having that many insects suddenly rush past your ear.
Yeah, that must be
That can't be
terrifying.
pleasant.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
terrifying. I need to read something real quick.
That's how we're like, yeah, that's pretty terrifying. We fought a fucking albino chimera that healed itself with like weird fiery shit.
Yeah, but you know.
Chimeras aren't real. Bugs are.
Okay, the captain basically, or the hairy hobgoblin with the greatsword, yells something in Goblin, and flings himself to the floor as these bugs fly towards him. What saving throw again? Sorry, I've forgotten again.
Con.
Con. Okay. Oh, that's initiative. Well done, me. Con. Wow, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. And what is it against? What is your spell casting?
My spellcasting is 13.
Okay. Or does it say a specific one in the staff's description?
Good question.
Good.
Because no, I think it's against your spell, so it's against 13. Which means I need to roll d4 a couple of times. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, yeah, there's no way those guys can save. So it's just this guy. Okay. And it's halved if they save. So, this is going to be kind of devastating as
Utterly annihilated.
Destroyed.
it deals basically what insects does it say it summons? I think it says locusts, doesn't it?
It is locusts.
Okay.
Fucking low.
A storm of locusts swarm through and seem to suck the life out of the majority of the inhabitants in the room.
Sweet.
Okay. So, unfortunately, literally everything in the room dies, apart from one guy.
Holy shit.
Holy
I
crap.
cannot believe you just wiped out a room of fucking bugs.
Nice one, V.
It's amazing.
Nailed it.
Fortunately,
This poor guy.
that is
Supposed to be
basic.
terrified.
I think that's like it's a fifth. You've just used a 5th level spell to do a fight that is basically a medium challenge for you guys. So yeah.
Good God.
He's just yelled an order, dived to the floor, and watched all his friends die
So half of 35 is
on the spot.
17.
So
So
that is some ridiculously high damage, though.
Yeah. That's
it is very
That's
high.
legit
But
5
it's
off of maximum
good
damage.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, forget Kelariis' double natural 20. This is the play of the game.
Yeah,
Literally
fuck
the
that.
only
Okay.
survivor is the hobgoblin with the greatsword. Seeing that you have literally just wiped everybody out, the hobgoblin is going to do something that you don't really expect. In that he charges straight for you, and then basically, oh, he's not there. He's on the other side of the wall. He doesn't run through the wall. That would be impressive. He does attempt to run through another wall. Kelariis, I would like you to make me a athletics check.
Athletic.
Yes.
Can do.
Wow, that's quite a good roll. But that's even better.
Hell yeah.
Because Kelariis is mega strong.
Yes. The hobgoblin captain is not awful either, but yeah, he basically attempts to like clothesline tackle you out of the way. He hits more resistance than he expects.
Oh, buff dragon muffle. She just like flexes her chest.
Yeah.
And just, like, is off.
Scaly muscles rippling.
He just hits 6-pack and just comes to a complete halt. That is literally literally everything he can do this turn. Kelariis.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Rob, for ruining this entire encounter.
No, this is fine. This is fine.
Encounter ruined. Encounter made awesome. More like.
Oh god.
I know.
This is fucking great. This is some
Well-
quality content right here. We're gonna get like 4 viewers.
Poor you.
That's what you're doing.
Kelariis, what do you want to do to this poor bastard?
I'm gonna try to stab him with freedom,
Okay.
Made up.
which is quite the sentence.
You know what we need? We know.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
I stab him with
Yeah.
freedom.
I stab him with freedom.
you need a healthy dose of freedom, my friend.
Fine. Oh, look
Okay.
at that roll.
That's pretty sweet. Right?
How much health does he actually have left? Okay, yeah,
Probably,
you
nothing.
like as he like charges towards you and like hits into you, you sort of you pick him up, pull him off you, and sort of like stab him as like a response. Yeah, that looks like you just very nearly killed him in a single stab.
Okay. He's not dead yet.
Like you stab him like in the upper torso, and like as you pull the blade out, like there is like a stream of blood that comes with it. He doesn't seem to be down yet, but yeah, that hurt.
He's not doing great.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can put him out of his misery.
Okay. Yeah, like not even like break his sweat. Like you stab him once, like he sort of like staggers backwards, like he seems utterly surprised by the fact that like 4 people just ambushed him and his entire raiding party. And then he charged you, expecting to be able to tackle you, and just bounced off. And then now you've literally just stabbed him to a brutal, brutal end.
I mean, I'm just like staring at V like, my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arya's got that sort of like wince face, like she's still like just sort of stepping through the curtain. She's just like, what the hell was that?
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Have your
V's just
conversation.
Sort of I think V's just sort of staring at her staff like,
Yeah.
did I overdo it? Did that happen?
I mean, in front of you is literally like a bunch of like emaciated corpses that have been picked clean by magical locusts.
Jeez.
I'm just gonna slightly like edge away from, just like.
That was certainly effective.
That was kind of amazing.
I second this statement.
I didn't think there would be that many locusts.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, I mean.
It varies sometimes.
Well, we can't exactly find any problem there, so.
Right, I guess we keep having. I guess we continue our look around.
Well, let's go check the corpses.
The plague of locusts seems to like it disperses sort of like into the rest of the room, but sort of like as you come into the room, there's clearly no evidence that any insects are actually in there, so they quite clearly like sort of disappear as quickly as they were conjured. And as you enter into the room, you indeed find some things. Give me investigation checks as you search the bodies, but as well as the searching the bodies, you find a number of boxes.
That's probably the stuff they stole. Oh my god!
Oh,
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, I'm scared of myself.
I'm terrified of you right now.
Don't be terrified of it. V just did a great thing.
Okay.
Congratulations, V.
Yeah.
What the
I'm
hell?
just imagining
That was
being killed
amazing.
by locusts. Like, body draining locust.
You realize now that it's like at this point it's like you've said that so much it's basically canon that Arya is like slightly scared of V sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, she just has like this crazy amount of power.
I think Arya just isn't that comfortable with bugs, and just being able to conjure large numbers of bugs makes her incredibly unsettled.
Yeah. A lot of fucking bugs, man.
It's not even me, it's just a charm on my staff. I don't have power of bugs.
Mm.
No. It was literally a gift from your patron, Winks.
Winks?
Spider
Winks.
Yeah, no. You find several crates that contain basically a cargo of food and leatherworking supplies, which you presume doesn't belong to these people, or these hobgoblins. You presume it is what is stolen from the caravan. However, what you do find looking around, you find that there are a number of like sort of tattered like bedrolls and like a number of like sort of beaten metal bowls and things, presumably for the inhabitants to sort of like eat with and have supplies, but there are more bowls than you have bodies here. So presumably there are more of these goblinoids, although not too many more. Maybe 4 or 5 more. But you seem to have wiped out basically like over 2/3 of their number.
Should we keep looking around then?
Yeah, as you look around, actually, V, the first thing that you are drawn to is the large hairy hobgoblin's helmet, which has fallen off his head as he slumps to the floor at Kelariis' feet. Tucked inside the metal banding in the top of his helmet is a small piece of paper.
Is it anything that I can read?
You pick it out. It is not even writing. It appears to be a drawing. And it is basically a drawing of a chalice. From the crude sketch, it's difficult to tell what sort of a chalice it is, but it seems to basically have like, it has an insignia of like a coiled serpent on it. It's basically like a serpent coiled around what, like it's either like a sword or a dagger or something. It's kind of hard to see because it's not drawn very well. But that seems to be like the primary insignia on this chalice, and it seems to basically be flanked by 2 sort of like almost like scythe-like shapes, like hook shapes on either side. But yeah, it seems to be a drawing of a chalice, and you expect like this maybe is perhaps what the hobgoblins were hoping to find or get their hands on. Though for what purpose you have literally no idea, and from your searches of the things that they have stolen, they clearly didn't find what they were looking for.
Alright.
The rest of your investigations turn up little more than 17 silver pieces, and basically any of their weapons that you want to take. There's basically a great sword and a handful of a handful of long swords, and some scimitars. But they are all very poor quality.
I'm gonna have to move downstairs though.
Okay, we can take a short break there.